Welcome back, Comedy Calendar family. It's me, Art Roche, the host of the Comedy Calendar, and I am here with my co-host for this week, producer, DJ extraordinaire, my friend, Julian Alvarez. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. Don't forget comedian in there.
And comedian, absolutely.
I'm doing great. I'm real excited to be co-hosting with you for the first time, and hope I don't fuck it up.
I mean, look, the bar is set very, very low. We had Dark Vision here last week doing it for us, and, he did an okay job, so...
Oh, then I'm not worried anymore.
Last week, man, we were both working the Miami Es un Chiste Festival. We pretty much worked the whole week. I think you worked every single day of the festival.
Yeah. I think Thursday or Friday of 2 weeks ago, and then all of last week up to Saturday.
You worked your butt off, man. I take my hat off to you. I worked really hard. I think I got a little bit sick towards the end. I got, I think the Peruvian bird flu or something. My nose keeps running. Whatever. I'm feeling better now. I'll take a couple of days of rest. Should be making better. How you doing?
That's crazy. I got a little sick too, but of Venezuelans.
Yeah, that lines up. That does line up. All right. Well, let's kick it off. Last week, vamos a empezar en español porque el festival fue completamente en español, un festival latino, Miami es un chiste. Fue algo súper, súper chévere. Fue un sueño mío que se realizó aquí en Miami. Yo quiero empezar con lo que yo considero que fue el mejor show del festival. Y nos hicieron amigos durante la semana esa, que son standuperos de Puerto Rico. Son comediantes boricuas. Eric Bonilla, Cristina Sánchez, Titito Sánchez y Ernesto Rolón. Permiso. De todos los comediantes que yo vi, eran uno que no los conocía antes y me sorprendieron de una forma súper positiva, pero también eran comediantes súper auténticos. Cada uno era diferente. El grupo juntos hizo una presentación súper chévere y pasaron varios días con nosotros, entonces pude hacer amigos de ellos, pude hablar con ellos y de verdad, Cristina, me saco el gorro porque una persona muy interesante, una comediante súper, súper buena. Y cuando regresan aquí a Miami, 100% lo vamos a tener aquí en estudio, vamos a hacer entrevistas con ellos. Pero más que eso, yo estoy loco para ir a Puerto Rico para ver los shows de ellos. Súper chévere. Y el otro grupo que tengo que recomendar a todos son los muchachos del Comedy Ring, que son amigos de nosotros. Estuvieron algunas semanas atrás con nosotros haciendo videos promocionales. Estuvieron en Miami Improv con nosotros y hicimos varios videos. Fue súper chévere. Y más que eso, el público dominicano. Fue uno de los shows que cuando empezó el show pensábamos que tal vez no iba a ser tan lleno el salón, pero al final había más que 300 dominicanos bebiendo, comiendo y disfrutando del show. Fue algo muy interesante. Tú viste el show de Comedy Ring, ¿no?
Sí, me encantó el show de Comedy Ring. Todos ellos lo rompieron. Nunca había visto el Pío RD y él de verdad que lo rompió. Todos los shows de verdad que me impresionaron. No sabía que había esa comunidad tan grande de comediantes en idioma español y me dio como esperanza de que puede ser algo tan grande como el stand-up en inglés.
Sí, por supuesto, yo estoy de acuerdo. La verdad que la comunidad latina, hubo gente que vinieron a todos los shows. Tuvimos como 31, 32 shows en 8 días. Y hubo gente que vino a todos los shows. Y era gente que nunca había visto al Miami Improv antes. Entonces, un público bien interesante.
Sí, fue increíble ver la cantidad de gente que vinieron durante la semana a los shows empezando a las 4:30 y todos estaban casi packed.
Yeah. So,
casi llenos.
Cool. La semana terminó el sábado y como el jueves me dieron una gran sorpresa. Me dijeron que para el show del joseo el sábado a las 7 me iba a poder presentar y fue la primera vez que me presenté en español en el Miami Improv. Y varios amigos míos antes me preguntaron, parecían que estaban preocupados. Ay, Arturo, pero en español, tu tercer idioma, ¿cómo va a ser eso? Mira, gente, antes de cualquier cosa, yo soy comediante. Puede ser en español, portugués, inglés, en ruso. Primero, yo soy comediante. Entonces, tírame al escenario y vamos a ver cómo sale la cosa. Pero muchas gracias al Joseo. Él hizo trabajo duro para tener el show en el festival y me invitaron para hacer unos minutos. Entonces, muchas gracias. Yo sé que tú estuviste ahí, Julian. ¿Cómo lo viste?
Bueno, shout out a Joseo, shout out Ricky D, que también tuvo un set grandísimo. Bueno, como te dije antes de comenzar, no estaba preocupado, pero sí estaba curioso cómo te iba a salir. Y bueno, de verdad que lo mataste, lo dejaste todo en la tarima. Te expresaste bien, no hubo que traducir nada de lo que estaba diciendo. Y wow, me inspiraste, porque yo también he pensado, debo hacer algo en español, debo de cultivar ese fandom, ese público, y ya viendo a ti hacerlo, sé que se puede hacer.
Gracias, men, gracias. De verdad que fue un sueño, como yo dije. Gracias a todos que lo pudieron hacer posible. Y gracias a ti, Julian, porque muchas veces también yo en el español tengo un poco de pena y eres la primera persona que yo llamo para matar dudas. Eres la primera persona que uso, no tanto en mi comedia, en el podcast. Entonces te agradezco. También, Julian, tú estuviste ahí, como yo dije, la semana entera. Estuviste en la posición primaria. Principal para ver todos los shows. Estuviste ahí mismo en el DJ booth, estuviste con los rehearsals, estuviste en todo. Si puedo, yo sé que todos los shows fueron súper buenos. Si puedo pedirte a escoger algunos shows para darle un shout out a uno de los muchachos que tal vez te impresionaron o alguien que esperabas ver, que viste y arrasaron.
Bueno, fíjate, Artur, que antes de comenzar el festival, yo ni sabía hablar español. Y después de una semana entera de 1000 chistes de Ice, ya lo puedo hablar fluido y conseguí una muchacha que se quiere casar por amor. Pero bueno, hubo 23 shows en total. Demasiado para contarte todo aquí, pero sí habían unos duros de la comedia. Luis Chatán, que habló muy bien del estado de la comedia ahorita. Ivan Camejo, que siempre es un maestro cuando toma la tarima. Tuvo un set muy conmovedor hablando de cómo el stand-up ha crecido en la idioma español y cómo hay gente ahora que se ponen en TikTok o en las redes que piensan que pueden hacer stand-uperos de verdad, pero muchas veces no, it doesn't translate.
Yeah.
Pero siempre me encanta ver a Ivan Camejo. También de los nuevos establecidos estaban Nacho Redondo, Manuel Ángel Redondo, Poli Díaz,
Yeah.
que son 3 de mis favoritos ahorita. Y les quiero dar shout out a los demás que nunca había visto. Fue mi primera vez viéndolos, descubriéndolos. Carlos Gelambi,
Yeah.
un comediante venezolano que también estuvo trabajando con el equipo, filmando, grabando un documental sobre el festival. Tuvo un great set. Fabricio Copano, un comediante chileno que tampoco lo había escuchado nombrar y me encantó el set de él. Tuvo un humor bien fino, sharp wit. Y por último, Latinos Comedy Miami. Si no me equivoco, son un grupo de 4 comediantes cubanos y de verdad que me impresionó. Fíjate que el día que se presentaron, yo vine un poco amargado, tuve un día pésimo, pero al verlos a ellos, se me quitó eso, me alegré y wow, era estupendo el show de ellos, pero sí.
Yo creo que ahora, de hoy en adelante, cuando hacemos cualquier show en español, vamos a hacer un Julian's Picks. Y así vamos, porque muchas veces, como por ejemplo, Copano, durante el show de él, yo tuve que estar afuera ayudando con el público y le perdí completo. No escuché ni un minuto de su...
Te perdiste Gran set, gran set.
Y tú no me dijiste, 2 meseros me dijeron, oye, ¿tuviste el show de...? Entonces, la próxima vez, cuando él esté, yo, aunque tengo que pedir el día off, me voy a sentar contigo en el DJ booth y voy a mirarlo todo, porque no lo pierdo otra vez. La próxima vez no lo puedo perder. Tengo otra persona que me sorprendió, que hizo performance, que se presentó durante el festival, pero más que eso, se representó muy bien durante el festival, que es Raquel Maldonado, una comediante latina aquí de Miami. Yo varias veces ella ha venido a la Improv, se presentó con varios comediantes, pero esa semana del festival ella estuvo ahí todos los días. Yo soy alguien que me encanta hacer el networking, pero ella es alguien que lo hizo mejor que yo. De verdad, estuvo ahí sacando fotos con todo, hablando con todos los comediantes, haciendo una conexión personal con todos ellos. Y claro, cada vez que ella se puso en el escenario, lo mató, ¿entiendes? Entonces, Raquel, hablé mucho con ella. Yo busco ahora, yo voy a hacer mucho más sets en español y es alguien que voy a contar con ella para ayudarme a encontrar los lugares y cuando llego a los lugares que por lo menos una persona me conoce, ¿me entiendes? Entonces, otra vez, Raquel Maldonado, saco el gorro, de verdad. Y las últimas personas que tengo que agradecer es Ximena, Ximenita y Mariana, que son las 3 locas que pusieron en Miami es un chiste festival. No solo ellas 3, pero sus familias. Tuvieron literalmente todo el mundo en su familia, todo el mundo vino o de audiencia para el show, como de público, o vinieron como voluntarios para ayudar durante el festival. Fue algo súper increíble ver tanta gente que ama la comedia, que quiere trabajar en eso y quiere hacer algo de verdad increíble suceder todos los años. Entonces, otra vez, gracias Ximena, Ximenita y Mariana. No puedo agradecerles suficiente y ya tenemos fechas para el año que viene. Para Miami es un chiste 2026. Voy a esperar a tener la permiso oficial para hacer un clip, pero el momento que tengo las fechas aprobadas, lo voy a hacer un clip para Miami es un chiste 2026. No lo puedo esperar. Antes de terminar con Miami es un chiste, Julian, ¿algo más que quieres decir? ¿Cualquier otra persona que quieres hacer un shout out?
Sí, por supuesto. Shout out a todo el equipo, al Miami Improv y el equipo de Miami es un chiste. Itza, Andrea, Jesus, Emma también.
Rafael, Iván, Hernán. Yo sé que me estoy olvidando de alguna gente, pero de verdad.
Felicidades a Itza y Andrea, que las dos se presentaron en unos de los últimos días del festival. Y por supuesto, gracias a Ximena por concebir todo esto. Y yo estuve con ella en el booth el festival entero, hablando con ella, preguntándole cuál fue el ímpetu de empezar todo esto y cuál fue la parte más difícil. Y ella como muy profesional me contó que la planificación de esto fue lo más stressful. Y que ya cuando arrancamos y todo estaba andando, como que ya the ball was rolling already. Y bueno, muy profesional, lidió con actitudes y caracteres de todas variedades. Y bueno, gracias por todo y estoy orgulloso de haber participado en este festival.
De verdad, y va a ser algo histórico. El primer festival latino de Miami. Ya sabemos que el segundo va a pasar, entonces es algo que yo le dije a varios comediantes, para mí es como el primer Def Jams. Cuando uno mira 25 años después y ve lo que pasó y todos los que estaban en ese show hoy son alguien talentoso. Yo creo que va a ser algo así, va a ser un momento en la historia latina de comedia, de verdad. Eso fue la semana pasada en comedia. Let's kick off this week. Let's go ahead and switch over to English. We're gonna kick off this week, Tuesday, June 24th at the Miami Improv, 8 p.m. and Wednesday, June 25th at the Fort Lauderdale Improv at 8 p.m. We're gonna have Have Nots presents Pedro Gonzalez. Pedro Gonzalez is a comedian who's come down to South Florida many times before. I'm glad to see he's working with Have Nots again. Shout out Dom P for always putting together. I mean, he's always cooking up something good. So getting a big headliner down here, working with them. I actually know Pedro's manager. His name is Bruno. He was here this week. He had a party of like 10 people at the festival. They came to a bunch of different shows. So I got to meet some of his other comedians. I think some of them will be opening for Pedro this week. So I'm excited to see that. But you guys have 2 chances to see Pedro Gonzalez this week. Tuesday at the Miami Improv at 8 p.m. and Wednesday at the Fort Lauderdale Improv at 8 p.m. Don't miss this show, guys. It's he's not going to be doing midweek shows for a long time. Moving on to Wednesday, June 25th in downtown Miami at 9 p.m. We're going to have Biscayne Brewing. That's brought to us by Lita Faye with the South Beach Comedy Club. Longtime legend here in South Florida comedy, Pam Bruno, will be on the show. Aaron Shapiro. We've mentioned him several times here on the podcast before, Aaron the speaker, and you're going to hear about him a little bit more later in the week. Art Roche, I will be there performing, so don't miss that. And the big headliner is going to be Jay Moreno, who's been absolutely, friend of the podcast, he's been absolutely killing the comedy game. His online content is second to none. His performances just keep getting better and better. And as I talk to bigger and bigger headlines that travel around the world, more and more of them are kind of shouting out Jay Moreno, are really looking towards the work he's doing in promoting himself and getting out there and giving him shout outs, because it's definitely working. He's definitely pushing. So big shout out, Jay Moreno. If you have an opportunity on Wednesday, come out to downtown Miami. Julian, you got anything for us?
Yeah, man. Shout out Jay. He's been doing his thing a while. He's killing the game. But also Aaron. I just met Aaron last month, I think, at the writer's room over at Taurus. So thanks to Mike Daba. And it was just a writer's room, not too big of a crowd, actually. But the few people that were in there, he killed them with some jokes about going to the strip club and the stripper not being able to find his junk. It was a really funny bit. So shout out Aaron.
Yeah, and Aaron, he's one of those guys that he's more than just a stand-up. They call him Aaron the speaker, and he truly is an order. I mean, the guy is someone who he's a performer, he's an entertainer, he knows how to engage with the crowd. Like you said, he's got some good jokes, so it's obviously something that can be that translates, let's say. So big shout out, big shout out, Aaron the speaker, and more to come. He's gonna be on another show with me a little bit later in the week. So. Moving on, we have Wednesday at June 25th at the Miami Improv, 8 p.m. You guys might have seen a clip already of this on the Comedy Calendar Instagram, but we have George W. coming to town. He is one of South Florida's own, one of the OGs in the South Florida game. He's worked with literally everybody and everywhere across the world. He's opened, he's hosted, he's featured, he's been a guest. This Wednesday, he's bringing all that talent back home to the Miami Improv. He's going to have Gene Neville with him, who's his manager and comedian. He's going to have Chicken George, who's someone we've talked a lot about on the podcast, one of Sebi's favorite comedians, and a friend of ours, Clyde Gordon, who we've talked about a ton of times on the podcast, will be there. It's going to be basically a whole show of headliners. Can't miss the show. If you check out the clip, you see George himself talking about what you can expect during that show, but he's going to have a little bit of everything. And I mean, it's going to be a killer show. I cannot wait for it. Unfortunately, I won't be there because I am booked at the Biscayne Brewing. But if you can come out and support, show some love, it's going to be a killer show. Thursday, June 26th, at the Higher Grounds at the Arlo Hotel at 8:30 p.m., we're going to have RLOL Comedy, or RLOL Comedy, which is brought to us by Polly. We've talked about her many times. Actually, we're scheduling an interview with her in the next couple of weeks. So we'll have some insight from Polly herself. I'll say a Miami personality. I mean, she's someone who's multi-talented across multiple.
Oh, you just wrote Polly here. You mean Polly Barros?
Yes, Polly Barros.
Oh, hell yeah.
Whose last name I always fuck up. So
multi-hyphenate, talented voice actress. She recently posted that she was in a Walking Dead commercial like a couple years ago, and I'm always pleasantly surprised that everywhere she's been, you know. First time I met her, she greeted me with open arms. She asked me if I was a comedian, and like you ever get flattered when someone can tell you're a comedian?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's insulting because it's like, how do you know? It's like, well, you're dressed like one.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means, but there's other times when someone just gets the vibe that you're one of them, and that's always flattering. So shout out Pauly.
Yeah, game, recognized game. I recently had a friend of mine. She's big into like murder mysteries and stuff, and I was telling her about this comedian, and I mentioned Polly, and she's like, "Wait, no, I know her. She's like a voice actress that does like I'm like, all right, that's crazy. All right, you know what I mean? Like, so apparently she's even, she's reaching out in worlds that I can't even imagine.
That IMDb page must be a scroll at this point.
Yeah, seriously. But so Thursday, June 26th, we're all going to be at Higher Grounds at the Arlo at 8:30 p.m. for Arlo Comedy Night. Polly will be there 100%. John Gregory Jr. will be there. Also someone who's killing it online. I will be featuring Art Roche, and our headliner is going to be Dante Abreu, who's a Miami comedian living out of LA. I recently saw him on a hosting for somebody else's special, and on the ad he came out in it. So it was pretty dope to see somebody that I know on TV. It was pretty dope. Pretty dope. Yeah. Shout out Dante. And in the last show, we want to shout out Thursday, June 26th at Coconut Grove, 8 p.m. Obviously, one of my favorite shows every single week. We're going to be at Taurus with Coconut Grove Comedy. My boy, Mike Dava.
Yes, sir.
He's actually planning a big show this week. He's going to have headliner Dr. Leppley, who's one of South Florida's favorites. She wrote a book called Beer is Good for You, and which I believe she's always selling at her show. So you can definitely buy that book there, signed and everything. Aaron, the speaker Shapiro, is going to be featuring on that show as well. So that's 2 chances to see Aaron this week. Big Mac Lawson, huge online personality, one of South Florida's funniest comedians. She's going to be there as well, and featuring Art Roche.
What do you know? Again,
so I'm going to be double dipping this Thursday. There's 2 chances to see me this Thursday if you want to come out and really get saturated in Art Roche, It's going to be a good time. I can't wait for it. No excuse not to find me somewhere this Thursday, basically. And then the last 2 shows of this week that we're going to be shouting out is going to be Friday and Saturday at the Miami Improv. We have 4 shows. This is a long-anticipated show. Vinny the Guido from Jersey Shore is coming to town. I've had no less than 15 to 20 people over the last couple of weeks ask about this show. They want to know how it's going to be. They want to know if they can get tickets. Well, guys, time is running out. Buy tickets now. I don't know if he's going to completely sell out all 4 shows, but I'm not thinking there's going to be a lot of tickets left for the early Friday show or either one of the Saturday shows. So if you want to get those tickets, make sure you get them right now at MiamiImprov.com. Obviously, everyone knows him from Jersey Shore. If you want to see celebrities at a comedy show, probably this is the one.
He brings the stars out?
Yeah, because people are going to be coming out, especially if you're of my generation. You're going to be able to recognize some people. I don't want to make any promises because I don't have any personal contact with these people, but a lot of the people at the Improv have kind of prepared me for it. And the thing I'll shout out to of the show is that every big headliner gets their own custom bar menu, but Vinny's custom bar menu is going to be something special. We went through it last week. I had the pleasure of kind of getting a preview, and if you like fancy drinks, there's going to be a ton of really good fancy drinks on there. Shout out to the bar at the Improv. We got Rob, we got Chuck, Charles, and we got Jamal back there making these fire drinks. So they're gonna be cooking up some good stuff, man.
Do you know who writes the specialized menu for the comedians?
I don't know who. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who actually does it.
As a pun connoisseur, I would love that job. If there's not a Gym Tan laundry drink on that menu, they're fucking up.
I'm pretty sure there is. I remember that there is specifically. Yeah, there definitely is. Whoever's doing it, they're not gonna let you take their job, Julian.
Can I have a Moscow Mule? Oh, you mean the Snooki? Yeah.
But yeah, so you know what? If I can get a preview of it for you, I'm gonna show you what it is. Actually, you know what? The flyer should already be delivered there at the Improv when we get there tomorrow. So you'll get a chance to check it out. But it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be really, really good drinks. It's rare that the employees at the Improv get excited about making drinks, It's something that we do normally. So that's going to be Friday and Saturday at the Miami Improv 4 show, guys. Do not miss this. You've been texting me about it. You've been DMing me about it. You've been calling the Improv about it. You've been emailing us about it. It's now. The show is here. Friday, Saturday, 4 shows. Vinny the Guido. Don't miss it. Hell yeah. looking a little bit ahead for next week, we actually have a really, really special shout out. Monday, June 30th at Miami Beach, starting at 8 p.m., is going to be the very last Bay Club of the season. It's also very special because it's going to be our friend Will Lopez's birthday on that day. So, guys, do you need more of an excuse to come out? I don't think so. We're going to have on there. So first things first, Comedy Canada is doing a takeover. So you get to see Sebastian Alvarez and Art Roche in the same room at the same night. Big thank you to Will for lining that up. We're going to have the host, Ellie Rodriguez. For anyone that thought we weren't going to mention Ellie this week, if you're playing bingo at home, Ellie Rodriguez is hosting.
Ray, start the counter.
Yeah. We're going to have Liz Rubin also there, who's been putting on some really good shows down here in South Florida. And the headliner is going to be Mark Vieira, who we've mentioned a ton of times, somebody who we're trying to get lined up for the podcast. But big shout out, Mark Vieira, man. It's going to be an amazing show. I believe Mark was the headliner in the first show of the season as well.
That's right.
So it's kind of like bringing it back full circle. Yep.
I did go to that show, and I want to say it's the only Bay Club show I've made it out to, but Will definitely served it up on a platter for me. He put me on the bartender's list of people that get that free drink, and I had a great time, so hopefully I can make it out to this one.
Hell yeah. If you can do it, bro, I would love to have you there. And then, of course, Dr. Alex Maurizio and Bruno, his dog, big shout out there. Bruno is a crowd stopper. Sometimes I'll just take the dog and stand on the sidewalk just so that people come up to me and talk to me instead of being scared. So a big shout out to Dr. Alex and Bruno, man. And then the very last look ahead that we have next week, July 2nd, we're going to have the New Faces open mic over at the Miami Improv. That's the next chance to see, the Comedy Calendar boys at the Miami Improv. Sebi's going to be performing. I'll be performing. Julian, you'll be performing as well.
I'll be there.
Dart Vision will be there capturing the night. And if any of the comedians, care or want to get their video, Dart charges $25 for the video right down the pipe of your set. And he does have a $100 package where he includes pictures, video, and an Instagram reel that he produces himself and sends to you. So definitely worth it. If you're one, is worth it to come out and perform at the New Faces. You get that rep on the Miami Improv stage with a good crowd. And two, is definitely worth it to get that video. And if you can, get the whole package. We'll chop it up. We'll shout you out here on the podcast, and you'll get some really cool clips from it. Julian, anything about the open mic you want to shout out?
Well, just to piggyback, just to speak well of Dan, rarely do I get the chance, but Dan really cares, man. The value in that package, it's pretty standard price across the board from what I've seen people offering, and he really does care, man. He gets in there. He tries to make you look good, and he succeeds. So shout out to Dan. As far as the open mic, I'm going to be bringing some new material for anybody that follows me. And I know Art and Sebi are going to kill it as usual. So who's hosting?
I don't know, actually. I meant to reach out to Ellie before the show to ask. But if she's not sure yet, Art Roche is more than willing to host a New Faces every time, Ellie. So is she on the live? No. Oh, and by the way, guys, we're doing live during this now. So you guys can definitely always join. No one does, but you could always join. It's free. Oh, someone just joined. Oh, the Power for Comedy. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the live. You're going to be on the podcast episode now. So thank you. Before we sign off, anything else, Julian, you want to let the people at home know?
Man, this feels good. I feel comfortable doing this. I mean, tell me in the comments if I'm a little green, but I feel at home right here.
I think you did a great job, man. Thank you for joining us. And definitely with the Spanish stuff, I think, I need the help. I need the encouragement. So I think it kind of helps to have someone to bounce it off of. And before I sign off, the last thing I want to shout out is, we have paid the ransom for Sebi. So whoever's holding Sebi, the wire transfer went through. I also sent you guys some Bitcoins, and I left a bag full of cash in Tropical Park like you requested. We miss him. We need him back. So please, let Sebi go. Even if we can get him just on Mondays for this, it would help. It'd be helpful. We appreciate it. Ray, do you miss Sebi as well? Am I driving you crazy? No? She misses you, Sebi. Everybody misses you.
At the very least, he'll probably come home with a little new Spanish to speak on this show, based on his captors.
Are you saying that? Okay, you're saying that the people that
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I was at the festival for a whole week. I didn't see Sebi there. I saw him prior, and I haven't seen him since.
Well, we are going to be paying. We did pay the ransom in bolivares, so we'll see. We'll see. It was 54 million bolivares, I believe, is what we or soles. I don't remember anymore. You know, but it was pesos. It was some kind of pesos.
Francos.
You know? Yeah. Oh man. Well, look, Comedy Calendar fam, thank you so much for joining us again for another week of recaps, of breakdowns, and of looking ahead for some comedy shows. This has been amazing. We're about to get to a year. And it's been an amazing experience. Thank you guys so much for joining us every week. And definitely roast Julian in the comments. Let him know what it feels like to sit in that second chair. Guys, thank you so much. Keep laughing and have a good week.